Welcome to Drunk 3PO. I am Jay, and man, as if we did not see this coming, as if we all didn't predict it, as if we all didn't know, as if we all, didn't warn them that this was going to happen, and here it comes. Bloomberg comes out after Disney's financial report and says Star Wars is struggling to win over the next generation of kids. Well, obviously. And honestly, I think you could look at Galaxy's Edge. Let's just go through Galaxy's Edge real quick. Bob Iger does come out and say, yep, the attendance numbers was way down. And why was the attendance way down? Well, according to Bob Iger, he talks about Star Wars fatigue. Really? Star Wars fatigue? No Marvel fatigue? Pumping out 3 or 4 Marvel movies every year, but Star Wars fatigue? Are you serious? That's a terrible thing. And then he says, well, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, because they thought it would be overwhelmed by tourists. So we didn't come. We didn't want to come. Then he goes on again and he says, well, we didn't have one of the rides open. And yes, and he said, maybe we charge too much for annual pass holders, and on and on and on. But getting back to the Star Wars, why the young generation, why the next generation just doesn't care, the article says something spot on. He says, instead of some of the franchise's most dedicated fans have been snipping at the way Disney has handled their favorite characters from the old movie. Absolutely. How do you take our heroes, our childhood heroes, and then throw them in the trash and just destroy them and make them look ridiculous so you think you can lift up your new heroes? So let's make Luke Skywalker look like trash so we can lift Rey up. That's exactly what you did. And yeah, it says the new trilogy's heroes like Rey, Poe, just haven't inspired the same fervor among young people, with toy sales falling flat around each new installment. Well, of course they are, because let's just take a character. Let's take Finn. The Force Awakens, we had a lot of hope for Finn. We thought Finn was going to be a Force user. We thought Finn was going to start to feel his way into the Force. We saw Finn fight with a lightsaber. We saw him with a blaster. We saw him as almost of the unsung hero of the movie. Then comes The Last Jedi, and Finn is a bumbling idiot. You literally could take Finn and Rose out of the movie completely, and it will not change the movie at all. They had no significant roles in that film. They were filler. Their part in that movie was filler. What kid wants that? Who wants a filler person? Poe did nothing in The Last Jedi but scream at people, say, tell me the plan. That's all he did. He did nothing. And so you take these characters that we're building up and you just knock them down, and why would anyone be interested in things like that? But then you have Marvel on the other hand. Well, Marvel, the Marvel toys are selling, and Marvel movies are doing extremely well. And there's no Marvel fatigue because you've got decent stories. Infinity Wars is probably one of the greatest movies that I've ever seen. And you've just got great stories with great heroes. And it looks like the next phase, they might be slipping a little bit. But that first 10 years, of course, you gave us, a hero's journey. You gave us great stories. And then when you don't do that with Star Wars, when you trash the base of Star Wars just to build up your new characters, man, that don't play. That does not fly with anybody. It doesn't fly with anybody. I'm sorry. It does not work. This is why the younger generation does not care about Star Wars. This is why we don't have the Star Wars kids. That's why we don't have, going out and buying the toys. And you want to sit back and wonder why? You want to wonder why that the next generation, first you insult the next generation's, parents, by taking their favorite characters and trashing them, and then you want them to well, just because my character is no longer validated, then you can like your character. It's crazy. Bloomberg article hit this on the head. People don't care about going to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. People don't care about buying the toys. There's no excitement for Episode 9. And I don't care. You can throw all your comments you want in the video about this, that it was crowded, that was this. But when you have the CEO, Bob Iger, coming out and saying, yeah, the attendance numbers wasn't where it was supposed to be. Yeah, the attendance to the U.S. Disney parks is not where it wants to be. Yeah, the toys aren't selling. I mean, come on. What other proof do you need? I'm not coming along saying Star Wars is dead by a long shot, but what I'm saying is that they blew an amazing opportunity for Star Wars. This movie coming up, Episode 9, should rival Endgame, in my opinion. But it's not. They're coming out now and saying that it might not even pass any of these remakes that Disney's making. A Star Wars film. So there you have it. I mean, if they don't reach the younger generation when my generation, finally flies over, then no one will care about Star Wars anymore. It'll just be something way in the past, and all this money that they're pouring into it'll be a waste. It'll be an absolute waste. I don't know. That's the video. You tell me. Do you think there's any hope left for Star Wars? I always believe in hope. You gotta have hope. You gotta have hope. But I agree with this Bloomberg article that Disney's not reaching the younger audience with Star Wars. And it's because of the way they're handling it and how they're trashing people of my generation, characters, and how they're handling it. So correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. That's the video. And I think they got it right here. I think they got it right, and I hope the eyes will be open and we can get back to the place where we're all loving Star Wars again. Great movies, great characters, great everything, and we can just sit back and have a great Star Wars time. And if you don't know anything else, just remember, let the Wookiee win.